This is 3 questions now. This is my 3rd one. Celebrate success. Celebrate success. Well, you always have to take a moment for yourself, right? Sometimes you're not afforded the opportunity to take a moment for yourself. That's just life. I think for a long time when I was successful with things, I'd always put it up on the shelf. I always would save it for a rainy day. Matter of fact, I have 7 rings from different championships, and I never wear any of them. My mom does. I have. It's a funny thing with me because I think there's so much in life, but then I got this one award, and I got into the Hall of Fame in my high school. I was kind of happy. I was happy about it. So now that's like, I actually celebrated that, and I put that up on the mantle. And if I look at it every day, so I'm like, man, that was a pretty momentous moment. And I say that because when it really does mean that much to you, you'll celebrate. And it's okay to get up and dance. And it's okay to get up and do whatever you want because of the fact that you have accomplished so much. And another thing that I talk about is my son, he's potty trained. So now anytime he goes to the bathroom, I got to do a dance. So, But it's when I dance and I sing and I make him happy and he keeps doing the right thing, I realize sometimes it's the little things that you celebrate and you have to take the time in order to do so. And it's just like that trophy. Yeah, national championship, Big Ten championship, going to the Super Bowl, that's great. But it's you have to decide what are those things that really make you that happy. You have to decide what dreams you've accomplished that really kind of give you, that make you giggle, as what people say. So it may not be everything that you're celebrating, but sometimes it's just that one thing. You have to decide what's that one thing that makes you feel so good that once you accomplish it, you're willing to take that break for yourself. Because we work too hard. We work too hard, and you deserve it. You deserve to celebrate your success. You deserve to celebrate the hard work that you have, regardless if you think you have that time. Perfect time. To answer your question? Who has other questions? Gotta be. I need 2 more questions. Yes, ma'am.
Did you set long-term goals, or did you just stop cold turkey with the crack stuff? Or did you say 5 years from now, I'm going to do this and that's going to whatever? Or did you just say, you know what, today I'm thinking? Did you see it in a long-term goal situation?
I always said long-term goals, intermediate goals, and then step by step in order to get there. But the amazing thing about that is, make sure you challenge yourself to set really that big goal. There's a quote, a lot of times people set the bar just high enough so they can reach it, but not high enough that they can stretch for it. In other words, don't shortchange yourself. And I think that's the goal that you really have to set. So you have to really be honest with yourself. If you're setting a goal that's just a hop, skip, and a jump away, or something that you're really trying to attain. And then when you do that, you realize, wow, I just gotta work there. I gotta work. I gotta fight my way to get there. But when you realize what goal that is, that's the one when you're gonna get up, you're gonna dance around, you're gonna dance. when's the last time you danced on a table? Well, you're going to be dancing on a table pretty soon, right? That's the time when you get up there and dance on the table, right? Because you realize that you actually put your best foot forward. That's when you cry and you say you can't believe you did it, right? And that's what everybody wants. But not a lot of people get there, and that comes to the celebration question that you asked before, is because you're really looking at the goal that you're setting for yourself. You made it too easy. You know, what do I want to make in the next month? I want to make $100. All right, fine, I'll make $100. No, I want to do this. That's when it becomes emotional. That becomes something that you've really worked hard to get there. And I think that's also something you learn from your peers when people are really honest with you and they know you and they say, look, I see the goal that you set for yourself, but you're better than that. And that's a responsibility that's outside of her office. That's a responsibility you have to one another to say, hey, what goal did you set? And I'm sure there's an accountability part of the program. What goal did you set for yourself? And then other people looking at you and saying, you know, I think that goal is too short-sighted. I think that you need a bigger goal than that. Is that enough? And then you to be able to challenge yourself and say, well, maybe you're right. And then that's how you bond as a team, because boom, someone hits that goal, that milestone, boom. And then all of a sudden everybody keeps climbing, and then that becomes that culture, and that becomes everybody's celebratory moment when you don't have to dance on the table by yourself. I know, my knees hurt too. Another question. Yeah. Say it one more time. How to keep out of trouble? Well, you know, this is the thing about football. If you play your heart out, you're too tired. You're too tired at the end of the day. People ask, you know, I was asked earlier, you know, what got me into football. Like I said, I didn't play football till my freshman year in high school, and I started playing because I had a bad temper. And so I found out, I realized that if I was at football, number one, I could fight, I don't know, 11 other people, and I'd be too tired to fight whoever was off the field. So that's how I kept myself out of trouble. I'm not saying that I didn't have stumbling blocks along the way, or I didn't stumble along the way, but it was definitely because of the game of football that allowed me to understand what and how I need to conduct myself, who and how I need to talk to people, the way I'm organized, or the way I need to work, and the way I need to study. You know, sometimes it's those little things that set precedents along the way that keep you out of trouble. So. Other questions?
You know, favorite team in life?
Bengals. I don't know what team that is. That might be the last time in a long time.
I don't know.
You know, if Marshawn would have got the ball, you guys wouldn't have won the Super Bowl. That's all I'm saying. Yeah. But that's another conversation. Okay.
Bengals? Why the Bengals?
Why the Bengals? I love answering this question. You know, New York raised me. Philadelphia taught me some valuable lessons, and I think that the Bengals polished me. Stages in life. You know, when I was younger in New York, as I said, you know, first year tore my ACL. You know, I started my second year. I really started to grow up. I mean, you're 22, leaving college, going to play in the National Football League. You're granted the greatest opportunity anybody has ever had to play the game of football. I mean, it's 2% of people that make it. 2%. And when I got to Philadelphia, I decided that I wanted to go to a different team. And when I got there, I realized that it wasn't necessarily, it was a difficult place to work. But I was also part of the teenage years of playing the game of football, right? You get a big contract, walk around your chest out. You know, you think you're more than really what you are. It's humbling. And the city of Philadelphia, if anybody's been there, they'll tell you about yourself. They told Santa about himself. They tell everybody about themselves. They throw batteries. Throw batteries at Santa. I mean, they're crazy in Philadelphia. But they tell you about yourself. And then I got cut. I got fired. Let go. You know what it's like to go into your locker and have it all cleaned out for you and sent to you?
I didn't know he do it like that.
Yeah.
Your locker around the
Yeah, Rick James, cold-blooded. It's cold, right? And then and then getting picked up by another team, New Orleans Saints. Anybody know that I was down in New Orleans? I was down there for a cup of coffee. It was still hot when I left. I don't even think the machine was finished, right? Fired twice. See, I went through 3 scenarios of when you get knocked down. There's plenty of more along the way, you know? So after being let go by New Orleans, the silver lining was that my practice when I was on New Orleans Saints was against the Bengals. So Marvin Lewis remembered me when I was on the Giants and was on the Eagles, and I handled the Redskins because he was the coach there. Right? I like that song. Though. Is that Taylor Swift? Shania Twain? Who is that? What song is that? That's Shania Twain? Okay. So that was the silver lining of the moment. And so he called me. I came to visit. Actually almost didn't get the job here in Cincinnati because I had an issue with my back still from the one before. And thank goodness there was no flights out of CVG. I say that in jest. No one got that joke. It's okay. There's no flights out of CVG. And I was in the hotel and I got the call and they worked it out, and I've been here ever since. And then when I got to Cincinnati, I developed a relationship with my coach. I started to get to know my community. I started to understand the game. So I was at the adult part of football. I think that you play the game when you first get in, you're a child, you're a baby. Then you think you know more than you know, right? And then you become an adult. And when I got here to Cincinnati, I became an adult. I started developing, as I said before, just my personality, my relationship. I started enjoying the game. And I was actually doing more when I was here than any other place, but I was more successful on the field. So why do I love the Bengals? Because they polished me. They allowed me to understand really what community is all about. Allowed me to understand really what the team is all about. And we fought through. And the first couple of years I was here, we had pretty bad seasons. But we turned it around, didn't we? Not really. We've been in the playoffs. He's tough. He came sat front row with that hat.
No. It was the only season.
You see that imaginary hat grab? Any other questions? Yes, sir.
When you were at Michigan, what head coach did you sit under, and how did he, as your leader, impact your life?
Oh, Lloyd Carr. How did he impact my life? Well, he let me stay on the team. That was number one. He taught me what many other coaches had taught him before. It's all about the team. That was from Bo Schembechler. It's not about who you are, but what you believe in. At some point in your life, you have to make a decision about who at some point in your life, you have to make a decision about who you are and what you believe in. Sense of community. I mean, that was Lloyd Carr, and that was why we were so successful. That's why we went to the national championship, because we really built a community of players that cared more about winning than they cared about themselves, and that comes from top down.
Well, we are out of time for this session, but let's give Dhani a hand and thank you for
Okay, cool. All right, so I have 4 books. Anybody read my book? You have? Oh, I thought you did. Okay. You read it?
No, I'm just
Oh, okay. All right, so I'm going to give away 4 books. Is that okay?
Yes.
All right, so you have to raise your hand, though. Wait, no. I want to ask the question. All right, when's my birthday?
Today.
No. Man.
Right.
All right. Let's see.
You got something.
Son?
Oh, okay.
Let me think. What's my middle name?
James
Ooh.
Lee.
No. Huh? I'll get to another question. It's Makalani. All right. Let's see. Where was I born?
Maryland.
Nope.
New
Who said
York.
that? Who said- There you go. San Diego. All right. Let's see. You have to raise your hand now. What was the name of the show that I traveled around the world? Nope.
Yeah, take on the world.
Nope. What? Wait. He answered it correctly. Donnie tackles the globe. All right, last question. Okay. What's a good one? Huh?
Yeah, give it away.
My birthday is the same.
All right, if you haven't signed the sign-in sheet, please do that before you leave so I can count you for your wellness points. And thank you for attending.
Thank
We really appreciate your attention.